Welcome to Empower TV. In this episode we will talk about citizen engagement. What can people do and how can local authorities help those energy communities? We will see some local cases, and in this studio I will be talking with someone from a local authority and an engaged citizen. But first, over to Denmark, where we will meet the people of the city of Fons, a video by Morten Westergaard and his team.
Take a look at this Danish island. It's Funen, the same island where the famous Danish author Hans Christian Andersen grew up. You know, the guy with the ugly duckling. And like in real fairy tales, real people have created magnificent things, against all odds. It all began in this village called Fons. Yes, a horrible name to pronounce. Fons is a small green oasis with a little more than 50 houses encircled by the sea. That's how every real estate agent would sell it. But in sharp contrast to the beautiful nature, many of the houses contain old, contaminated oil boilers. But instead of me chatting away, let's hear from some of the people in Fons.
In the village of Fons, there were around 40 houses that had old oil boilers. And they were so old that they needed to replace them within a short time frame. So at a citizen meeting where we talked about other energy saving projects, there was this atmosphere that maybe we should do something in common.
And then it was just a question of getting the rest of the town in on this rather difficult transition.
I think the whole thought around it has changed from not just being a practical thing about getting heat, but also a matter of being a part of the green change. Yeah.
All right, Fons received tremendous support from people to get a so-called central heating system, which runs on wood chips. But with only nearly 50 houses, no energy companies wanted to back the idea.
Together, we made a plan on how to accomplish this. We created like a workforce with just people from the village that wanted to participate in this. And then after one and a half years of planning and investigating, we were able to like make a project and go to the municipality and say, okay, we want to do this. Can you help us with the funding?
The idea of a common green heating system, which almost began as a scribble on a napkin, was heard by the municipality.
They are up to something in Fons. I've been there, talked to them, and they are full of ideas, especially when it comes to climate and environment.
So we're going on a mission to what's going to happen?
We're going to help them.
Now, you probably think that the municipality fixed everything, but that's rarely the case. The nearly 50 households had to raise more than $1 million to establish the heating system. Once again, the fairy tale ended unhappily. What are we looking at here? Fons central heating system, which today is providing the whole village with green energy. The municipality provided a guarantee for the $1 million.
If we will succeed as a society, we have to help people succeed themselves, also in a local community like Fons. And they had a sustainable project, both when it comes to economics and when it comes to climate. So we have to support them to succeed so we can succeed as a whole.
However, the people in Fons had to be responsible for the administration and operation themselves.
We are a group of 8 volunteers that takes care of everything that needs to be done on a weekly basis. That means you're on duty for 1 week. So you take out the ashes, you make sure there are pellets on the heat boilers.
The district heating system needs to be local based. We will support them in any way we are able to do.
Today, people from all over the world go on a pilgrimage to Fons. They want to see what this community have created together. They want to hear the story about the heavy bumblebee, which turned out to be faster than the others after all. Let's end where it all began, with Hans Christian Andersen. Like in his fairy tales, the ugly duckling became a beautiful swan. But the big difference is that this is a real fairy tale.
Hello, I welcome my first guest, Dominiek Vandewiele. Dominiek, you work for Leiedal, an association of cities and municipalities in the region of West Flanders here. Leiedal has been working a lot on energy transition, hasn't it?
Indeed, we identified this topic as a very important topic for the socio-economic development of our region. You know, today energy prices are very high. Our citizens and our companies pay a lot for energy, but you know, there's very few local energy production.
Okay.
So, and even the energy that we need to buy is fossil. So we want to become a climate neutral region. So a big challenge is to produce more energy locally and to make sure that the profits are for our citizens and our SMEs. So that's why we joined the Empower project, because this energy transition is very complex. It will need the involvement of a lot of citizens. Citizens need to do a lot of things. And in the Empower project, we tried different things. So one of the things that we helped is to give ground, to set the ground for for an energy cooperative, and for example, to make sure that they could put solar PV on the roofs of public buildings.
Okay.
Another thing that we do is try to assist citizens in the renovation of their dwelling. A lot of dwellings need to have a deep energy refurbishment. That's a huge challenge. And all these individual private homeowners need to go through a renovation process in the coming decades. So that's a huge challenge, and that's what we try to do to pilot in the Empower project.
Okay. Yeah, so the collective renovation project was one of your main issues. Let's watch a short video on that.
Wat heeft de renovatiecoach juist gedaan? De verschillende offertes die binnengekomen zijn, daar is er inderdaad dus een verslag van opgemaakt geweest. Op basis daarvan hebben wij die informatie kunnen doorspelen naar de mede-eigenaars. De mede-eigenaars hebben dan kunnen kijken naar uiteraard de prijs, maar ook wat dat er qua duurzaamheid van belang was voor het gebouw. Nu, het is vaak zo dat er op basis van prijs gekozen wordt, maar ook merken wij, want dit is één project, maar er zijn nog andere projecten waar dat er eigenlijk ook naar de duurzaamheid gekeken is. Vaak wordt de goedkoopste offerte toegewezen, maar we merken toch dat het advies van de renovatiecoach in 99% van de gevallen toch wel gevolgd is. En dat is niet altijd de goedkoopste, maar ook met de meest duurzame materialen. Op die manier hebben we ook het technisch advies eigenlijk gekregen van de renovatiecoach, dat wij zelf als syndicus niet kunnen overbrengen. Of dat ze deze werken zouden uitgevoerd hebben zonder de hulp van de renovatiecoach. Ze zouden, volgens de wetgeving, moesten ze renovatiewerken uitvoeren aan het dak, isolatiewerken. Of dat ze het op dergelijke collectieve manier zouden aangepakt hebben, dat weet ik niet zeker. Waarschijnlijk beetje bij beetje, maar het is, in dit gebouw is het nu collectief gebeurd. Is het volledige dak in één keer aangepakt geweest. Zonder de renovatiecoach denk ik niet dat zouden de werken uitgesteld worden, denk ik. Of dat het moeilijk was om de mede-eigenaars mee te krijgen in het verhaal. Het was verplicht sinds 2020 om isolatiewerken te gaan uitvoeren of een minimum aan isolatie te hebben. Dus wij hebben dat ook zo overgebracht. Daarin is het niet moeilijk geweest eigenlijk om de mede-eigenaars mee te krijgen in het verhaal. Zeker ook omdat door de burenpremie dat de eigenaars daar eigenlijk geen last van ondervonden hebben of geen kosten hebben moeten van dragen. Daarnaast is het ook een plus omdat er voor duurzame materialen gekeken wordt en dat men zeker is dat de uitgevoerde werken degelijk en correct uitgevoerd zijn. Nu, is het dak dus geïsoleerd. De bewoners zouden eventueel in de toekomst wel kunnen kijken voor een collectieve aanpak. Bijvoorbeeld hier zitten we met een gemeenschappelijke ketel. Dus een ketel die de verwarming voorziet van elk appartement. Dat zou eventueel in de toekomst wel moeten aangepakt worden door een nieuwe condenserende ketel per appartement te plaatsen. In andere gebouwen zitten we bijvoorbeeld met oudere ketels die naar condenserende ketels moeten vervangen worden eigenlijk. Ook volgens de wetgeving opnieuw dat bepaalde type ketels niet meer mogen geïnstalleerd worden. En de schouwen zijn daar vaak niet op voorzien. Dus we komen vaak met het probleem dat er een renovatie aan die schouwen moet plaatsvinden. Dus dat is iets dat zeker bij heel veel gebouwen en ons beheer toch zeker in de toekomst nodig zal zijn. Voor daar ook een vergelijk te kunnen opmaken en zeker het technische advies dat we daar kunnen van mogen ontvangen.
This is really remarkable how people can take ownership and renovate their houses if they are offered a frame to do so. Could this be the way to empower people really, like by offering them a context and facilitating their actions?
So the energy renovation of dwellings is a huge challenge. What we discovered is that assisting homeowners in the renovation process is a crucial element that was lacking. You know, a lot of citizens really want to do something good for the climate. They want to renovate their dwelling. They want to use less energy. They want to have more sustainable energy. But it's so complex, and because they meet a lot of barriers and other problems, a lot of reasons why not to start their renovation. So it's very interesting that this huge potential of people that is wanting to do something, you need to activate them. And you need to find strategies and tactics.
Yeah.
And as a local government, as a city or a municipality, you're close to your citizens. So you need to have a strategy that gives the citizens a lot of confidence, and that's why we have the renovation coach. He's really coaching the people and try to see their situation and try to find tailor-made answers and make use of financial incentives that are available. And doing so, in the Empower project, we try to optimize this via collective renovation processes. Because it is very time-consuming. And with collective renovations, we hope to make it less time-consuming for the renovation coach. And what we saw is that it works very well in multi-apartment buildings. Homeowners, individual homeowners, need to decide collectively, together, about the renovation of their dwelling, of their apartment building. And apparently it was missing. There was some facilities, some guidance, some framework was missing to help those. We also tried to apply collective renovation processes in regular neighborhoods, which seems to be far more complicated.
Yeah, and I guess you also have to motivate people by showing them what's in it for them, that they are really, it is beneficial for them as a private person too.
I think a lot of people do know. You can convince a lot of people with figures about energy costs, but for what we noticed the last few years, that people just want to do something good. And they want to have a warm house, and they want to have a modern house. They want to be part of the future, and that's also a very important driver, something important that we have seen changing over the last few years.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. In Essex, local authorities and citizens have been working together on energy transition. Let's have a look at what they have done.
Sustainability is a long-term project that we've been doing at Danbury Park. It started 2 years ago, an idea from a group of children who really were concerned about the environment and their future. Each class now has their own project. They are concerned, but they need to know why. And that's why it's important that we develop this long-term teaching approach. So each class in the school now has an area of responsibility. Yeah, I'm very concerned about the future and climate change. It's in the news, it's very topical. Danbury is a wonderful village. We're going to lose that, but we need the children to take it forward. They're the future.
My name's John Davis. I'm the head teacher at St John's Primary School in Danbury. The biggest project we have is that the solar panels that Empower have put in for us. That's our biggest thing. But recently we have changed all our lighting to LED lighting. We've had a big roof project and insulation project from Essex County Council as well. Solar panels are fantastic because it means that we're using renewable energy. This county in particular, in Essex, we have so much sunshine that I think Essex could really lead the way amongst the other home counties in driving solar panels forward and moving more towards renewable energy. It's not just about local areas, it's about the whole world and doing our bit.
Luciana de Almeida, you are the Energy and Low Carbon Project Development Officer at Essex County Council in the United Kingdom. Hello. In Essex, you started with publicly owned buildings. Now, how could they be an engine for a citizens' movement in local communities?
So the public buildings such as schools, libraries, education centres, village halls, they are at the heart of our communities. So these buildings enable people to come together and they provide important services in the communities. Because they're so important, they also provide a great opportunity to engage citizens in the energy transition.
Mm-hmm. And it requires a sense of ownership. You actually give people this sense of ownership. So public buildings are property of the community, as you said. But how did it work in practice?
So in Essex, what we did was we retrofitted solar PV systems in 2 schools and 1 outdoor education centre. But apart from just coming up with the idea of the retrofit, we asked the community if they wanted to be part of this. So in the schools, they really took the project on board and now are working with the children and staff and the families to think about other climate action activities they want to do, and they are really implementing some activities in the school, and the same with the local citizens that we engage from the beginning. They also thinking about what else they can do. In this case of this village in Essex, in Danbury, they are looking to provide local advice around energy, so how citizens can reduce their energy bills with the current very high prices for energy is something that is really, really important for them in the community, but also looking at what other assets in the community they could install renewable energy as well.
Mm-hmm. So people are really triggered naturally to do even more than just what is provided, I guess.
Yes, because they feel they got something, they see the importance of the issue and they want to take part as well.
Yeah. And could it also be combined with group purchase initiatives? I heard about Solar Together. What exactly is that and how is it connected?
So in our pilot site, it was important to do that project and engage the local community, but the energy transition cannot wait. And one of the other initiatives that we are delivering in Essex is a collective purchase scheme for solar panels. So what that does is getting the change we need at scale, because it's not just one building in one community. It's many buildings that we need to retrofit renewable energy. So what Solar Together does is achieve that change at scale. And we've got a lot of people interested in this scheme last year. More than 5,000 people registered interested in buying solar panels as part of this collective purchasing campaign, and we believe around 571 panels will be installed at the end. We're just at the end of the installation phase now, which is quite a good result if you think more than you would have seen in a normal year in Essex installed in the domestic sector. So we're really happy, and we're launching another one at the moment. So in February, there's a new Solar Together launching for more residents to install solar panels.
My name is Hannah. I live in Chelmsford, And back in September, so about 4 months ago, we had 10 solar panels installed and a 4.8 kilowatt hour battery. I'm actually quite surprised, as it's been since September, it's really been the autumn and a bit of the winter months where we've had the solar panels. So we were not expecting to get so much electricity generated in these months. During September, about 2/3 of the electricity we used in our home was generated by the solar panels. And during October, it was almost half of what we used was generated by the solar panels. So I was quite surprised, actually, even knowing that solar panels are a good thing. They don't just work on sunny days, they work on in terms of daylight hours. And obviously when it's less cloudy, it's better. But we've been quite impressed. And I'd say to anyone who's interested, if you should just go ahead and book a survey. It's a very popular scheme, which means that if you do delay, you might not get your panels until the autumn or the winter, which we kind of delayed a little bit in that. So it would be better to do that earlier to get the benefits from the summer months.
So, and this was also in collaboration with the Empower 2.0 project, or how did you
yes.
work together? Or yeah.
Yeah, so Empowered helped us to with these two, in running these two schemes, and of course the interaction with the other partners in this partnership as well helped to for us to make these projects better, to learn from other experiences in other places. So Empower was key for us, not just because of the funding, of course, but also because of the exchange of knowledge between the partners for us to build on our schemes.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your contribution. Hello and welcome, Dirk Vansintjan. Dirk, we know you as the founder of EcoPower and the president of REScoop, the European Federation of Citizen Energy Cooperatives. Now, what would be your golden rule when it comes to empowering citizens?
Well, we like to empower citizens because we think that this is crucial to reach the energy transition we're facing. And it will only succeed if citizens are at the core of the energy transition. And according to us, this is a unique chance to find new balances between local and global, between rural and urban, and between south and north.
Okay, and what would you actually advise people who want to motivate citizens to empower them?
Well, it is incredible what citizens are doing already across Europe together with municipalities and provinces and so on. And by showing them these examples, they are really inspiring. And that's what projects like Empower can do.
Dominiek, what do you think about the European system of local energy communities? Would this be a way of empowering citizens, and could it also help to achieve the aims of Empower 2.0?
We think that this concept has a huge potential. You know, it's a paradigm shift. From now on, European Union looks to citizens as energy citizens, not only as energy consumers that only can buy the energy produced in big power plants. They also can participate, share energy, sell energy to each other, produce their own energy. So we believe that's very important. It also says it's a local energy community, which means it's a local community. It is very important for cities and municipalities, which are very close to those local communities, to try to empower those communities to take that active role. Because it's not only about creating new legislations, new decrees on European level. On all policy levels need to understand that they can take new types of initiatives to bring energy closer to the citizens. And for example, on this site, this is a transfer site, it's a former power plant. We, together with the municipality of Zwevegem, aim to realize an energy community that shares collectively produced energy. But we encounter really a lot of problems. So, however, it should be possible. In practice, it is very, very complex to establish a local energy community that really can share energy, the jointly produced energy.
Do you agree on the importance of this shift from consumers to prosumers, as they are called? Or the energy
yes, indeed, and that's what our European Federation has been advocating for or lobbying for. And to make it very clear that it was these new concepts, these new definitions of energy communities, that it was about citizens. In the very last negotiations between the European Parliament, the Council and the Member States, the word local has been changed into citizen energy communities because we saw that there was quite a lobby as well that it would also be possible that it was what businesses do on business areas. So it's citizen energy communities to make clear that with the clean energy package, all the directives that were changed, that they wanted to put the citizen in the center of the energy transition and not the consumer.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess you think that a project like Empower 2.0 could be useful as a way to pave the way actually for further citizen empowerment?
Within the Empower project, we looked at the options that the new legislation offered. However, we understood that the implementation in national legislation lagged behind and is very complex. And what we received as today, it is not very favorable. It will be very hard. So what we aim at doing is also give the signal back to national authorities, even to the European Union, to say, okay, we try to implement it, but we're meeting a lot of problems. But we still believe a lot in the potential, because not every citizen has the opportunity to produce its own energy. Not everybody can put solar PV on its own roof. So we should allow every citizen to have locally produced energy.
Yeah. You can agree to that, I guess?
Yes, of course, and I can bring this message to the European Commission, because a few weeks ago I signed for REScoop.eu a contract with the Commission, and the aim of the service contract we have is to bring these examples, whether they are good or not that good. We have to bring these examples to the Commission so that that we enable them to change their directives once more in the good direction. Yeah.
Okay, something to be followed up on. Thank you very much for this conversation. Next time on Empower TV, we will talk about empowerment recommendations.